All right, Boomer.
Hello, Elena.
Hello. I have a question that honestly took me a little while to grapple when I started on board this company. So help me understand functional medicine, integrative medicine, how it compares to health optimization medicine.
First, I think a lot of people don't realize that before Troscriptions, we started a nonprofit. And the nonprofit Health Optimization Medicine Practice, which you just mentioned, it's a 501c3 nonprofit in the US, and that structure is very deliberate. But the idea there was core perspective shift, right? So how do we shift people's perspective from disease to health? It's pretty interesting to look at the United States in particular when it comes to healthcare costs. So the average American spends, I don't want to know, $13,000 a year. Hopefully that's covered by your employer. It's the most expensive place in the world to get healthcare. Yeah. Number 2 is Switzerland. And the differential between the health of the populations is pretty stark, right? So in the United States, how many people are overweight? Is it?
It's like 2/3.
2/3, right?
Or more. Maybe it's up to like 85%.
Yeah, so clearly healthcare isn't working. It's working for certain things, right? Like if you have an acute condition, or let's say you got into a car accident, you broke a leg, yes, go to the hospital. And we've made great strides and great progress. I'm not trying to discount that, but we've somehow lost the idea of health within that. Within health optimization medicine, the core focus is the health. But within functional medicine, you're still looking at the root cause of disease. Now, they have a very integrative approach. Many of my mentors come from the functional medicine world, and they have a very integrative approach. They're looking at disease from a lot of angles, like, hey, it's not just your organs. Let's talk about your sleep, your stress. Let's talk about your relationships. Let's talk about your exercise. But it's still revolving around that disease element.
Something going wrong.
Exactly. And so we kind of decided to look at, and this is largely built on Dr. Ted's work, but we're looking at how do we manage health? And so when we speak about health optimization medicine, we look at foundational principles. And so if you're going to optimize health, what do you have to optimize? Right now, the lowest common denominator we can get to is the cell. And metabolomics is a science that allows you to test the health of a cell. You get to see what your cells need now and what they've needed recently. And that allows us to, again, focus on just getting the basic cell right. Once you get that basic cell right, you get basic nutrients, you get minerals, cofactors, etc. All of that ultimately stems up to things like symptomology, right? And so if you optimize the health of the cell, a lot of those more disease markers start to fall away.
Right.
So it's not necessarily looking at the body, and let's take, for example, your intake with a client, right? A lot of the things that they're going to tell you are, I have pain here, I have XYZ symptom, etc. In health optimization medicine, we say, okay, that's nice, and certainly we might be able to give some stuff for that. But we're really looking at, okay, where are your cells? And, how close are they to healthy? And in health optimization medicine, we actually made a very thorough definition of health. We say health equals A plus B plus C. That's easy to explain to people, and that's probably why we made it a mathematical equation. But A is absence of disease, and I bet if you were to ask 100 people on the street, that's probably the closest definition that most people would settle on. But B is the balance of anabolism, catabolism in the body. So things that grow, things that destroy. And then C is through the life cycle of the organism. And so let's focus on B and C, because I think A is something that most people understand. B and C, if you're balancing anabolic and catabolic processes in the body, that requires measurement. And you're starting to look at the body then in terms of networks. And so you're looking at either the hormone network if you're a physician, or you might look at the nutrient network if you're just a healthcare practitioner. And you might say, okay, I know the relationship between the one that comes immediately to mind is zinc and copper, right? I want to make sure those are in balance, because if I have too much zinc in the body, copper's going to drop. If I have too much copper, vice versa. In hormones, you can look at the hormones as a network as well. and testosterone's relationship with melatonin, right? If I'm taking testosterone, which is a very popular topic these days, melatonin is required because melatonin will drop. And so with everything, we're then also looking at the life cycle of the organism. And so the life cycle of the organism means, health at different ages means different things. But we look to bring you back to evolutionary optimized levels. And so from an evolutionary perspective, our optimal nutrient and hormone levels are between the ages of 21 to 30. And so if we take that simple equation and say, okay, we're going to balance your anabolic and catabolic processes in the body and bring you back to levels of when you're 21 to 30, in theory, that's the most health optimized you can be.